Hello everyone, I'm back. I've got some RNG for you. I got something exciting to do. Yes, this is Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl RNG. There it is, look at it. Brilliant. So today I'm going to do eggs. And the reason I'm going to do eggs over anything else is because the tools already exist to do this. So we're going to go ahead and start with this because there isn't anything fancy with PYNX reader or anything like that. So what you're going to want is you're going to want Capturesight. So if you have Capturesight, I'll put in the link in the description. You hold down your L, down to your head, right click, and you can see all your overlays. Capturesight's an overlay which lets you see, for example, the wild Pokemon you're fighting, Pokemon in your party, which even works on the title screen. And Daycare View, which is going to be very important to us. Underground, which isn't important to us. And Main RNG, which, again, very, very important. So, let's close that out for now. So that's the tool you need on your Switch. What you also need is this. You need PokeFinder, which is a tool very much like the RNG tool for the 3DS, and it supports a bunch of gens, and Gen 8 it supports eggs. And so the egg tool looks like this. I'm going to close out the main PokeFinder window, you don't need it. First things first is you're going to want to go to the manager and input all of your important information, and that being your trainer ID or your secret ID, whether or not you have the shiny charm, whether or not you have the oval charm. So I'm going to go into that because this is how egg generation works in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Essentially, every 180 steps that you take, it will determine whether or not the RNG state will generate an egg, and it will give it the stats that are at that state. So essentially, what to do in order to generate an egg you want is you go and you take 179 steps, and then you take your 180th step at your target frame, and it will generate an egg with the IVs and nature that you want. Now, if you do not use the Masuda method or you have the shiny charm, the Pokemon ID isn't actually generated until you collect the egg from the daycare man. Well, you know, this fine gentleman right over here. Well, in a second. Yes, this man. Now, if you don't care about the shininess of this, that's fine. Go ahead and use this method without Masuda. That's fine. However, look at the RNG, the main RNG frame. Look at all those advances. There's no way to slow this down here, and there's no way to advance frame by frame. So this is almost impossible to hit your target here. So I wouldn't bother with that. Use Masuda method or the shiny charm or both. That works too, because if you do that, the Pokemon ID was generated at the same time as the stats and natures and everything else, so you can just get a shiny egg that way. So don't worry about that. Anyways, first things first is we're going to deposit our Pokemon. We have a Luxray. I already know its stats, so I'm going to put it in the tool in just a second. And I've already got my Ditto there. It's a Japanese Ditto, so we're using Masuda method because I don't have shiny charm. Okay, so it's there. Now, I'm going to open up Capturesight and bring up the Daycare View for a second. You see, step 0 exists false. There's no egg, and we've taken 0 steps. You see it incrementing. I attach it to the screen so I can walk around. It's incrementing. We're going to talk to this man, and he says that they're doing just fine, and they get along. That's important. Alright, so now I'm going to take a second, and we're going to bring up our egg window again. Make sure you say the same thing that he says, because if you say the two get along very well, it'll give you this will give you more target frames than are actually real. And if you say they don't like each other, it'll give you less. So just make sure you get it right. And then make sure you have the stats of the parents inputted. And if one's a Ditto, make sure you say so. If they have a held item like a Destiny Knot or an Everstone, also note that. And if you're using the Masuda method, make sure you click that as well. And over here is your filter. Let's not worry about this just yet. We'll get to that. Anyways, now that we have done all of that, we're going to go to a quiet place to actually generate the egg, because as I've shown over there, the frames are just going nuts. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fly to my favorite place for this, which is the player's house. And specifically the second floor of the player's house. So hop on in. And you can see that steps are incrementing. 179 is where we stop moving. Anyways, so here I am at the player's house. Look at the main RNG. Look how slow that's advancing. That makes it very, very easy to hit your target. So that's why it's important. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and we're going to run around, and we'll get to 179 steps, and then we're going to stop. If you go over, the steps will just roll back over to 0, but on that 180th step, there is a chance that an egg will be generated, and then if that's the case, you just have to go pick it up or reject it from the old man and do this again. So let's see, we're at 160 now. Alright, there we go. We're stopping there. We are not taking another step until we generate the egg we want. So at this point, we're going to bring up main energy. I immediately pressed A to pause updates. This doesn't actually stop the frames, the state from advancing. It's still going on in the background, and it will update when you press A again. But we want to actually enter in the state so that we can find our target. So I'm going to bring up the tool. Now, first things first is that it looks like you see this. Okay, I got these four 8 character, 8 byte codes, and we've only got 2 seeds. So that what happens is the first 2 are a pair, and then the second 2 are a pair. However, it's not like you think. It's not the first one, then the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one. It's actually the second one, then the first one, and then the fourth one, and the third one. I'll type it out. You can see. So we do B31, B31, 48D33, CDD8198C. So that's seed 0. You see, it's the first 2 combined, and then the seed 1 is 6712. 168C B6F31939. Okay, great. So then now we've got our RNG state. We've got all of our parent information here. And so I'm going to look for, I don't care about stats, but I'm going to look for a shiny egg. And I don't care about anything else. Gender ratio is important. I don't know what it is, but I don't care whether or not I get male or female. So yeah, just going to leave that. Don't put anything in the use delay. Don't even have that checked. There's no delay. Now let's go ahead and click generate. So here you go. These are all the advances that will generate the egg with the stats we want. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause updates here, and I'll lock this in. All right, so we see already that 243 will get us this spread here. HP 1, attack 30, defense 0, so on and so forth. And it will be a shiny egg. So let's go ahead. All you have to do is take a step at 243. So just to show it more time, then we're going to display it, close it out here. You can see it's a pretty slow advance here. So I'm just going to skip ahead to when I take the step. Okay, and here we go. Alright, we took the step at, I believe, 243. So how do we know that we did it right? So we're going to close out of this window here. We don't need it anymore. Let's go to the daycare view. Alright, so we see that exists true. So an egg was generated. And now we also have seed, which is populated. So let's bring up the PokeFinder egg tool here. So you can see here at Advanced 243... Sorry about that. At Advanced 243, you can see that the egg seed is 56922EE1. And hey, look at that. The seed on the daycare view matches exactly. So that way, we already know that we hit the right advance. We got the right seed. Now we can go ahead and actually pick up the egg from the nice old man at daycare. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna close out the egg tool here. So once you took that step, the egg itself is generated. It is no longer. You don't have to worry about RNG at this point. The egg is generated. It will remain the same. If you were to save here, quit the game for 3 months, come back and collect the egg, it will still have the same stats. So let's go ahead and fly over to the daycare center. And we're going to go ahead and pick up our egg. After we accidentally walk into the Poke Center. Alright. Yeah, so again, because we use the Masuda method, we don't have to hit this at any given frame or anything. We just want it. Give us the egg. And we're going to add it to our party as well. Yep, great. So one good thing is that now that it's in our party here, there it is. It's party member 6. I'm going to go ahead and save. I'm going to open up Capturesight again and look at party member 6. And here we go. Here's all its IVs and everything, the PID and encryption constant. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up this tool again. And you can see here that the PID matches the oh no, that's the egg seed. The PID matches the PID of this Pokemon, and so do the stats. The stats of HP, attack, everything lines up. Is it female? I don't know. I just put it in there. It might not be right, but yeah, serious nature, everything matches exactly. So now all that's left is to go ahead and hatch this egg. But everything's all set. We've got what we want. Also another fun thing about Capturesight is that if you look at the party view, you can see egg cycles 20. That's how long about how close you are to hatching. Once it gets down to 0, it'll hatch. So I'm just going to go ahead and hatch this egg, and I'll come back and show you it so we can view what our lovely Pokemon is. Alright, we're just going to do we're doing a couple more circles here. Okay, here we are. It's about to hatch. And let's see what we got here. I mean, I already know what we got. You already know what we got. But let's see it. Seeing's believing after all. There you go. Look at that pretty golden Shinx. So, there we are. That's how you RNG an egg. Oh, it is female after all. Oh, that's nice. I don't want to give it a nickname. So, alright, again, I'm going to take a minute here and just go over exactly the method again, because you saw it played out, but sometimes a repetition is necessary. So, step 1, drop off your Pokemon, put all the relevant details into PokeFinder. Step 2, take 179 steps, then stop. Then, when you reach the target frame, take a step. Then you can double check with your egg seeds. Make sure that if the egg seed matches the egg seed for the advance, then you'll know that you hit your target. If it doesn't match, then you can look at the frames around it, the advances around it, to see where you went wrong. But if you do it in that place where I showed you, right at the top, at second floor of the player's house, the frames will advance slowly enough that you should have plenty of time to hit your advance, your target. So then, once you've taken your step, collect your egg, hatch it, and you'll have what you wanted. And also note, use the Shiny Charm or the Masuda method, or both. Don't skip that unless you really don't care about it being shiny or not, because you will not hit a shiny frame that way. So that's all there is to it. 179 steps. Take your 180th step at your target frame, and you're done. I don't know what order the tools are going to be released. I might just do a quick PYNX reader thing on starters, because that is actually pretty easy to do, although you can't, right now, you can't control IVs or natures or anything. But I will catch you all next time. I hope you enjoyed this, and join my Discord where I'm going over all the researches that's been done, everything that I've done, and have some fun with this, because RNG in this gen is very, very, very viable. I'll catch you all next time.